Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Northland Wrestling. Welcome to Conquest IV.
Welcome to Conquest IV. I'm Steve Costello, your host, with my partner Adam Coton. How you doing, Adam?
Well, let's get one thing straight here, Steve. I am not your partner. You are my assistant. Let's get that out of the way as we get into this night of great wrestling action from Northland Wrestling. You know, this Jocelyn Roy, he's a great young competitor, but he's already heading into this match at a huge disadvantage with a name like that. Growing up, didn't matter if you were a boy or a girl, you got beat up if your name was Jocelyn.
And would you be the one doing the beating up, Adam?
Well, only when, things needed to be handled. I'm not one to promote violence or anything like that, but I'm just saying, you can only push a man so far. A lesson that you should learn on this broadcast, Steve.
And this is one man that you definitely don't want to cross, Jonathan Rukin. I made the mistake of getting in his warm-up area before the show, and I was boldly told not to make that mistake again. And with his jiu-jitsu and wrestling background, I do not want to challenge those words.
There's an example of a guy who you just pushed too far. Steve, I don't know if you know this, but you're really quite annoying. And I think you don't even realize it, which is why I'm letting you sit here and broadcast with me tonight. But the truth of the matter is, you get on people's nerves a lot. So I think if you just take it down like about 6 or 7 notches, you're going to be just fine, kid. Otherwise, I might have to do what Rukin threatened to do to you in the back.
Well, sir, I'm going to start taking notes, I guess.
Well, you definitely should. You're sitting here with a legend, and we are witnessing something spectacular here. 2 fresh young talents. Of course, as we all know, Mr. Jonathan Rukin made his Northland Wrestling debut at the Miller Memorial Cup. Had a pretty impressive showing as far as I was concerned, which is really the only opinion that really matters in this company. The truth of the matter is, the man has unlimited potential, and you are going to see a wrestling clinic. I got to feel bad for Jocelyn Roy here. I know he was looking to try and make a name for himself, but it's going to be very difficult to do that at the expense of Rukin.
Well, both men have a technical background, Adam, but I do believe that Rukin also has the advantage in the strength category, as he's also a power lifter. So a quite various background for Rukin versus what we don't know much about Wah. So I'm excited to see how these two are going to square up against each other.
You see, you're definitely right about Rukin's advantage here in terms of his squat size. It gives him a lower center of gravity. As you mentioned, the powerlifting game gives him an advantage when it comes to the pure strength. Roy's a guy that looks a little more wiry. He's going to be the kind of guy that can slip out of technical and submission moves, which is really going to come in handy against a guy like Rukin, who can get you from any position, as we're seeing demonstrated right now.
And Wah quickly reverses and grabs the ankle of Rukin, and Rukin gets to the ropes no problem.
So that's the thing a lot of people may not understand. Even though Rukin is a fresh face here in Northland Wrestling, this guy's a journeyman. He's a veteran. He's been traveling the roads up and down Ontario and across Canada and the United States for well over 10 years. This guy knows his ins and outs of the ring. So if you trap him in a submission hold, he can instantly calculate where he's going to be in order to get to those ropes.
Rukin showing his strength again, backing Roy into the corner.
This is not a position where Roy wants to be because he's at the mercy of Rukin. And you see there referee Kevin Drew warning about these shots, but these two blatantly ignoring that message right now. I don't know if you want to get into a brawl with Rukin. As you see there, he knows exactly if you go high, he's going to go low.
Oh, and a headbutt from Rukin. Oh, and one back from Roy.
I'll give this kid credit, this Jocelyn Roy. He's not backing down from the challenge. He wants to make a name for himself here. And that's a really nice technique being shown by Roy as well. This kid is a young upstart, and I appreciate the fact that he wants to be a big star here, but he's still got his work cut out for him.
Rukin gets the boot up.
Again, that's that veteran presence, right? And look at Rukin. What I love about this guy here is that he's going after a single body part and trying to pick apart this kid piece by piece. And right now, if I'm Jocelyn Roy, I sure hope I got an insurance policy out on that shoulder because he might be separated from it by the time this match is over.
Not just that, Adam, but he's wasting no time either, staying focused on that limb and not lollygagging around the ring like we see most of the competitors like.
Hey, listen, let's be honest here. Neither of these guys get paid by the hour, okay? You come in there and you try to win. That's how you make it to the pay window, and that's what Rukin is all about, baby. He's about trying to get as much money as he can here and proving he's the best. Now, Roy right there made a big mistake. He went real high on that elbow to try and get as much impact as possible, but it backfired on him. See, that's what happens when you got a smaller frame against one of these larger, stockier guys. You really have to try and up the impact of your moves by maybe taking a few more risks. Unfortunately, if you miss one or two of those, it could spell the end for you.
Rukin with a fisherman suplex. Lazy cover though. Oh, transitions to an armbar.
See, that's the thing about Rukin. You called it a lazy cover, but that's not what it was at all. Only to the untrained or stupid eye like yours would you say that that is a lazy cover. What it actually is Rukin setting up Roy to go into that smooth transition of the armbar. Rukin is a master chess player when it comes to the game of pro wrestling. He's always thinking 2 or 3 moves ahead. And you know something, Steve? That's the only thing I think I can say against Rukin is that he plays to this crowd too much. He cares too much about what these people think of him. And let's be honest, these people, you know, they're not going to help him in that ring. If his arm's trapped in a lock, if he's been hit with a pile driver, they're not going to get him back up. They're not going to lift his shoulders off the mat for the 3 count. I don't know why these guys put so much stock in these fans.
Every great champion has an army of fans that follow Adam. You would know that if you were a great champion.
Yeah, they're more like the French army. Army of nothing. I bet you Jocelyn Roy has a membership in the French army. Roy sounds like a French name to me.
You've got a lot to say about him. Do you have a lot to say to him, though?
Hey, listen, I'm not a hard man to find. All you got to do is look where the dork is, and I'm apparently doing commentary next to him, no matter who they've got sitting there doing play-by-play with me. I just haven't seen anything that's impressed me yet from this kid. He's got a lot of heart and a lot of gumption, but that doesn't mean nothing until you start racking up the W's.
Oh, with the elbow.
I think he caught him right on the bridge of the nose there, Steve. And I don't care who you are. I don't care how big you are. You get socked in the bridge of the nose, those eyes are going to start to well up a little bit. You're going to go blind temporarily, and you are going to be wondering what the heck just hit you. Some pretty impressive chops coming from Jocelyn there. I have to admit, I'm surprised that he was able to take down Rukin. But hey, it could be a matter of gas tank here. It could be that Roy is just trying to wear down Rukin and get him tired. Not a bad strategy.
You're not going to beat Rukin without hooking that leg.
Well, let's be honest, Jocelyn's taken a lot of punishment during this match. He might be a little disoriented, might not quite be sure where he is right now. And when you're in the heat of battle like that, you know, sometimes you don't always think clearly.
Oh, and Rukin dropped on his head from that belly to back.
This could be the opening that Jocelyn has been waiting for this entire match. We talked about the size advantage of Rukin, but that was just used all against him here. Oh, and you see, that is what I'm talking about with that ring awareness, that veteran presence that Rukin brings. He knew that there was no way that he was going to exert extra energy to kick out of that one when the bottom rope was right there. Even still, Jocelyn, I think, is taking a little too much time here to catch his breath, to catch his wind. He's got to capitalize on Rukin here and the fact that he got dropped on his head less than 2 minutes ago.
Well, to Wah's credit, he did just drop a 300-plus pound man on his head by lifting him straight over his head, so... Oh, and Rukin!
Yeah, call
Didn't
it.
see that coming.
Yeah, neither did Juan. That's the problem for him. As we see, yeah, Rukin locking in a beautiful submission. Juan tries to get over it, but he just caught himself, Steve. He got caught, and it cost him the match.
And you're not going to get out of a grip like that from Rukin that gets the win with the crucifix roll.
Well, the fans here seem to be happy. I don't really care about that, but what I do care about is a guy like Rukin coming here to prove that the best competition in the world is found one place only, and that's here in Northland Wrestling. Hey Steve, let's take a look back at exactly how Rukin won this match.
And you can see here, Adam, as he bridges Wah right over, all of that pressure going on the back of Wah's neck and chin. And there's no way out of that when a man like that has a hold of you by the neck.
The following contest is brought to you by Milan Pizza and Wings, and is a fatal four-way. Introducing first,
What's up, Steve? This is a great example of a guy here who exemplifies why Northland Wrestling is the best wrestling company in the world. We have athletes from all across the globe wanting to test their mettle here against the best that Northland Wrestling has to offer.
Just in another one making his debut tonight as well, and I had a much more pleasant encounter with him backstage before the show. He's quite the character, but not someone I don't think I'd want to cross in the ring either.
You know, it's probably just because he was using British slang to tell you to, you know, go take a hike, but you didn't understand it. They call the toilets the loo over there. How crazy is that?
I didn't know you were cultured, Adam.
Shows what you know, Steve.
from the Browning area, he's the double Nick Watts.
You want to talk about culture? You got Nick Watts. This is one of the most cultured men on the roster.
I don't know if cultured is the word I would use, Adam, but I guess that's one view you could have on it.
Well, let's be honest. This guy has worked for scumbags and gangsters and villains from Saudi Arabia and the UK and Latin America and all over the world. This guy is a world traveler. He's been beating up people across the globe. You can't get more cultured than that. He'll he'll do whatever it takes. He's the Devil's favorite hitman after all, right? You think that, Devil's got some pretty dark requests, I'm sure, but Nick Watts, he's always up for the challenge as long as you can pay.
And the crowd showing their appreciation for the Devil's hitman.
I think the only job that he wouldn't take is teaching you how to fight. That would be such a waste of time, he would probably just give the money back.
Here comes another character.
Weighing in 220 pounds from Northland Wrestling, Nathan.
Yeah, he's a character, all right. He's a character that belongs in a sequel to Revenge of the Nerds. Look at this guy. That sweater vest is almost as ugly as the outfit you're wearing, Steve. Almost. I can't believe that this guy is allowed out here. Who let this dork into the building to wrestle? He doesn't look like a wrestler. He looks like he should be grading math papers somewhere. He's got glasses on. What wrestler has glasses?
I'm sure quite a few wrestlers have glasses outside. You wear glasses, Adam.
Well, not in the ring. What are those, prescription? Does he have to wrestle with those things on? I think that's a hazard. This kid's going to come in here, and he's going to do some real damage. Not to the other wrestlers, but to himself.
Usually be allowed to take pictures of the real wrestler.
He's got a point, Taking a picture of John Gonzalez, the real John Gonzalez, that's a privilege, you know what I mean? Just like these kids are getting the chance to scream at John Gonzalez. That's what they really paid their money to do.
Now, John would have a lot of potential if he did more wrestling than he did talking, but and here we go again.
Wherever you are, when you're sitting here in the ring, or you can try to escape and drive back home, I will follow you, grab this microphone, and make sure you get it right, because these idiots need to know what my real name is, and my real name is!
He's got a real issue with Anthony.
No, it's not Boo, it's the real John!
No. He's got issues with idiots.
And as much as you all hate the fact is, I am undefeated in singles competition. So that's why they have to stack the card and give me these two idiots and a good guy, Nick Watts.
Making excuses before he's even lost yet.
And I gotta face you. But first of all, if I'm gonna face you, Nerdlinger, what are you doing in this ring? Huh? Your glasses, your gray shorts, your sweater vest, the sweater vest? What is this, 1998?
Oh, shares your opinion, Adam.
Oh, it's because he's an intelligent man.
Now, I used to have one of those sweater vests. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, I think you just proved our point, Steve. Did Newton just use an inhaler to start this match?
I believe that's what I saw.
You're telling me that this guy needs assistance breathing before this thing is even started? And you think that John Gonzalez is going to lose this match? Come on, get real, Steve. Emphasis on the real, as in the real John Gonzalez. Why would you think that he's going to lose this match when he has proven himself undefeated in singles competition, huh? He's got one of the best records here in Northland. A perfect record.
All John wants to do is talk.
Oh, no. All John wants to do is educate. There's a big difference here. See, everybody keeps recognizing that these Northland Wrestling superstars are the best in the world, and then when John beats them, they don't give him that same respect, just like you. coming out here talking about all he wants to do is talk. He's got lots of potential. Potential? The real John Gonzalez has a perfect record. He's one of the best wrestlers in the entire world, let alone the Northland Wrestling roster. And you and Anthony and all these idiot fans don't want to give him the respect that he deserves. So now, if he has to beat 3 opponents to prove it, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Well, right now I don't see Fatal 4-Way going on at all. I just see 2-on-1 with these two gooning up on Hutchison in the corner.
Well, let's not forget your nerd pal laying down on the outside there. Probably out there taking a break like he should be, leaving all the action to the real men. Let's be honest, this Ad Hutchinson kid, he came in here, wanted to prove himself, wanted to act like a big shot, probably suffering from jet lag. And when he came over here, he wasn't expecting to be in there with one of the most vicious wrestlers in all of Northland Wrestling and one of the best wrestlers in all of Northland Wrestling. So it's his own fault.
Well, you were busy talking. John was trying to talk and almost got himself pulled out of the ring. He's not paying attention to what he's doing. He's paying attention to the people around him and they're not the ones in the match.
Come on. Hey, if Nathan Newton was in there, he wouldn't have to pay attention to him at all. He's like an annoying little gnat, a bug that keeps just buzzing around you and you gotta try to flick it away. Just ignore that kid. That nerdlinger's done. His match was over before it even began. Instead, he's just going to let Nick Watts have a little bit of fun punishing Ad Hutchinson, and then they're going to go out.
Oh, reversal from Hutchison. Oh, the clothesline to Watts, clothesline to Gonzalez.
Referee needs to get control of this match. He's losing control of this thing quick.
I think the tables just turned, Adam.
Well, let's not count out these guys too quickly now. Come on, the match isn't over yet.
Oh, belly to back.
There's a little bit of power in this little British guy.
Oh, and Gonzalez from behind. Matches his character well.
Hey, come on, it's a fatal 4-way, all right? If you don't have eyes in the back of your head, what are you training for?
Oh!
And that's
what a Mission Ogu driver. Dropped Hutchison right on his dome.
He's lucky he was able to roll out of the ring, because if he hadn't, this match would be over and John Gonzalez would be your rightful.
Now Newton getting his legs in.
I didn't even see where he came from.
There's the puffer power.
I can't believe you just coined a catchphrase for this dork. Puffer power. More like powder puff power. There you go. That's a real.
That was short-lived.
Nick Watts.
Yeah.
Sure was. Well, I mean, those inhalers only give you a couple of seconds of
I was going to say he's a puffer too short there. Oh, no, here we go again.
I can't believe he had the strength to lift Watts up. What's in that inhaler? You know what? I think that inhaler should be tested by the drug committee here at Northland Wrestling just to make sure there isn't anything illegal in there, because there's no way that that nerd has that kind of strength on his own.
A performance-enhancing puffer.
Well, why not?
Oh, Watts from behind now. The crowd loves Newton.
Yeah, and look what that's getting him. A beatdown from the Devil's Hitman.
And that's...
Yeah, come on, kiddies. Cheer for your buddy Newton. A lot of good it's doing him there when he's getting his suspenders snapped into his back. I wish Watts would do that all day. You know that he's having a lot of fun right now. This is where he's most comfortable, when his opponent's in a lot of pain and he can play with them the way a cat toys with a rat.
A big chop.
He hit the flesh right through that sweater vest.
And adds up now.
Yeah, what's he doing? Wasting time, showing off for the crowd. He's got some power behind those strikes, but he better be careful, because if he lets his focus get out into the wrong area there, he's not going to come up as the winner in this matchup. And now look at this. You were talking earlier about Watts and Gonzalez teaming up, but it looks like these two have formed their own little rainbow connection, and I'm not too happy about it, to be honest with you, Steve.
Didn't you say yourself, Adam, it's a fatal 4-way? This is allowed?
Exactly. Should be every man for himself. I'm just saying these guys, what they're doing is destroying the spirit of the Fatal 4-Way match.
Oh.
That's what I don't approve of, Steve. Come on, keep up.
I never thought you would be a man of ethics.
Excuse me, I minored in ethics.
Ethics and culture. Wow, I'm learning a lot tonight.
Huh. The things you don't know about me, Steve, could fill an encyclopedia, which I guarantee you that Nerdlinger has probably read cover to cover.
Ooh.
Look at these two playing up to the crowd like that's going to make a difference in this matchup. The object is to win. And what's going to happen if these two guys completely take out Gonzalez and Watts here, and it's down to the two of them? You think they're going to be all cheery and buddy-buddy then, huh?
You never know.
The high five just hurt your Nerdlinger friend. He got injured off a high five. This man is a wrestler. You know what? I bet you. You know what? I know he's not even in power anymore, but somehow I still think this is Adam Andrews' fault. I don't know how, but this just stinks of Adam Andrews, and I bet it's his fault. Ah, look at that. Your dork pal there got caught by Nick Watts, and now he got his eyes right for his troubles. He's too busy having fun with his new British
atomic drop, flatliner.
Yeah. And that move is aptly named because once Nick Watts hits it, it's lights out. You're done for. This is it.
Lazy cover by Watts.
Hey, I wouldn't call anything that Nick Watts does lazy. The man is just confident. What is that?
That looked like a nerd bottom.
Oh my God. No, not. Thank God for John Gonzalez.
Oh, would you have been mad if Newton got the upset there, Adam?
Well, of course I would, because it would have been a disgrace to our business. Guy like him trying to act like a wrestler when he should be in a library somewhere telling kids to shh.
Oh, monster chop from Hutchison. Brought Gonzalez right off his feet. Another one.
You know, they say this kid weighed 16 stone. Wouldn't surprise me. I think he's got hands of stone as well.
And that's it. Pat Hutchison with a powerbomb pin and gets the win. Impressive over Gonzalez. Wow. Can you believe it?
Steve, I can't believe it. That has got to be considered a huge upset in the history books here. And I can't believe it. John Gonzalez here almost suffering his first loss in Northland Wrestling. Thank goodness it was a fatal 4-way match and it won't count.
What?
And now the disrespect.
What do you mean it won't count?
What? Well, it wasn't one-on-one competition, right?
It's still a match?
Exhibition. No. Yeah, but it wasn't regulation one-on-one. John Gonzalez is still undefeated in one-on-one competition. He still has a perfect record in Northland Wrestling. This was just like an exhibition. Look, if a splitter vest nerd can get into this match, it really doesn't count.
I'm sure John's going to share the same opinion with you on this one, but
that's because we're both cultured, Steve.
These two continuing to win over the crowd, partying in the ring now.
Yeah, unfortunately, winning the crowd doesn't get you any extra zeros at the end of your paycheck. And hey, Nerdlinger, just so you know, you're not taking home the big part of the paycheck either, but your buddy sure is. I certainly hope that British guy takes him out for a pint as a way to thank him for losing, giving him the extra zeros at the end of his paycheck.
I was just going to say...
I'm kind of sickened. I'm sickened by this whole thing, Steve. Why don't you just call the replay here? I just got to compose myself.
Hutchison here, showing some power. Gonzalez up, and you can see the look on his face. He knew he was coming down, and then quickly rolled up for the 3.
You know, quickly is right. I think, I don't want to say it, but I think it might have been a fast count. I think we'll have to go back and we'll have to watch the tape on that one, but I have a sneaking suspicion that referee...
The following contest is brought to you by your TV, and it's for the Northland Wrestling Tag Team Championship. Introducing first. Weighing in at 444 pounds, from Angel Grove 2025,
But these guys are pretty flashy.
Well, yeah, they're from Angel Grove. That's out in California. Guys got a lot of style out that way, you know. That's where you can find Hollywood and Los Angeles, and all of my showbiz peeps are out that way, Steve.
How did I know you were going to say your people?
Well, I mean, come on, let's be honest. If there's anybody that understands glitz and glamour, it's the truth. Speaking of glamorous, check out Bianca. She could be the secret weapon for this team against those other weapons, the weapons of mass destruction. We're going to try to hold on to their tag titles, but I got to be honest with you, Steve, I don't like their chances here. This is a fresh, young, hungry tag team with a golden opportunity.
And their opponent. They are the Northland Wrestling Tag Team Champions, weighing in at 637 pounds. Captain Turner and Peru, the weapons of mass destruction.
Look at the size of these guys, Adam.
I mean, it's really a sight to behold. We talk about Alpha X Kaiju, John, Tavius, and Darius King. These two guys, you know, they're not like you, Steve. They're not tiny little men. These guys are big, beefy guys, and they look tiny in comparison to the weapons of mass destruction. But even still, I think they're larger than most of the tag teams we've seen here in Northland Wrestling. I gotta be honest with you, I don't like the chances of the champions. They're going in at a huge disadvantage. They have not had a chance to scout Alpha X Kaiju. They were expecting a completely different tag team. Alpha X Kaiju, they're hungry, man. They got everything to gain and nothing to lose here.
I do agree, they've got nothing to lose, but that is a sight to behold across from them in the ring, and a challenge and a half, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I don't know what you're looking at, but I think it's the weapons of mass destruction that have the sight to see across from the ring. Look at Bianca. What a beauty that Kaiju X Alpha has brought to the ring with them. They're bringing everything with them, man. You want to talk about a little sizzle to go with that steak. Hey, she's the whole damn dinner plate.
Well, I don't know how focused on her WMD will be this match, but I do have to agree with you, Adam. She is a sight to see.
Without question. And I'm really curious to see how she becomes a factor into this match with her strategy and her motivational skills.
And Darius King tying up with Karu, and thrown down again.
Well, let's give some credit here where credit is due. King is not backing down from Karu, and a lot of men in this locker room and other locker rooms would not be so brave. You know what you call that, Steve? It's a superhero landing, is what that is. Landed on his feet and posed like a Marvel movie character. That's what these guys are, man. They're living, breathing comic book heroes. I think it'd be pretty cool to have comic book heroes as the Northland Tag Champions, don't you?
I would have to agree. Now, again, they have to get through those two mountain of men standing across from the ring, and if they can figure out how to do that, then they deserve the title, sure.
Trust me, these guys have a plan. Guys in California, they're smarter than they look, let me tell you. They know exactly how to get around big, dumb objects, and that's exactly how they have to treat this match. Karu, Cadman, they're just a couple of big dummies. The key to winning these belts tonight is going to be to outsmart these two.
Well, I don't know how dumb they are, Adam. They are the champions. You gotta have some smarts to be able to hold the gold.
I don't know. I'll tell you this, they certainly don't have a lot of fashion intelligence. Look what they're wearing here. They probably picked those up at a thrift store on the way over to the arena here. Compare that to Alpha X Kaiju, who are styling tonight, you know?
And Catman showing his strength.
Oh, but there's no doubt him and Karu easily the most powerful duo in all of Northland Wrestling here. But one thing I gotta say is Karu here putting the headlock on Tavius, and that's a smart move because when you're a guy the size of Karu, your arms, I mean, it's just like a vice grip on a guy's head. And so that's the kind of strategy you want to have, because guys like Carew and Cadman, even though they're larger opponents, they're not going to have a lot of speed. They're not going to have a lot of stamina. So your key to success, if you are the weapons of mass destruction, is keep your opponents in one spot and just grind them down. Look at that, some smart tag team wrestling on the part of Alpha X Kaiju. He looked for the opening and he took it. It's almost like these two have sort of like a telepathic link with one another. Maybe they got telekinesis. Maybe that's their superhero power. Steve, what do you think?
I think you're looking way too much into it, my friend.
Hey, do you have telekinesis, Steve? Can you read my mind right now? What am I thinking right now?
I don't even want to know what you're thinking right now, Adam, but I'm sure you're going to share.
You're an idiot.
Of course. And that's why I don't ask.
Well, you wouldn't have guessed anyway. Come on. The only superpower you have is being annoying. And I mean, to be fair, I mean, your ability to annoy people really is superhuman.
Carew working the arm on King.
You know what I'm interested in this contest is that Alpha X Kaiju have really tried to come at the weapons of mass destruction by beating them at the leverage game, and I'm surprised it actually hasn't worked more to their advantage. Carew and Cadman have really done their homework in terms of maybe going after another team that can match them in terms of size. Let's be honest, this is probably the biggest team that they have faced in Northland Wrestling yet, and even then they still have a couple of inches on them. So maybe Cadman's strategy is, I'm just going to try and grind these guys into dust here. But look at Alpha X Kaiju, Tavius and King, they are not backing down. And Steve, you got to admire the guts of a team that is coming in hungry like this for the championship.
Well, they are showing that they want the titles, and they aren't backing down.
They're even challenging the WMDs to show what they got, and well, I guess whenever you do that, you have to be prepared for the consequences.
Oh!
Look at the smarts on the part of Alpha X Kaiju right there. Here they come now. Now it's a 2-on-1. Now these guys have an opportunity to do some damage.
What a double team!
Superman punch. These guys are all about the comic book heroics here. I like these guys. They got style, Steve. I think we're going to have new tag champions here tonight. Cadman's on the ropes. He was not expecting this.
And for two singles competitors that have recently turned into tag partners, these two are showing great tenacity with one another.
They definitely got some chemistry. There's no doubt about it here. These guys might have a bond. I'm telling you, man, I think that they may be telekinetic. I think they might have some of those Professor X powers. These guys are like Professor X mixed with Wolverine, mixed with Iron Man. These guys are they're the whole Justice League mashed into one. Wow.
Oh, and right to the chest.
Now that's one way to stop a giant. Keep him from breathing.
Now he's antagonizing Carew. Gonna need more than that to finish Cadman.
Let's be honest here, Steve. That's not what they were trying to do. Don't get me wrong. Alpha X Kaiju want to win the tag titles, but that pin was all about making Cadman Turner work. It was about making Turner have to expend some energy to kick out. They're trying to wear down this guy. They're trying to basically double team Cadman and just grind him to the point where he can't kick out anymore.
Ooh. And Cadman with a couple big splashes. Sidewalk slam. Tags in the other big man. Then, oh no, Carew's going up.
This is a dangerous spot for King.
Diving headbutt, and that's gotta hurt.
Oh, well, look at this now. The beautiful Bianca up there trying to tell Carew that his shoe's untied. That's really very generous of her to stop the match to let him know that and make sure everything's fair.
Oh, and Darius King taking advantage of it.
Well, I mean, that's not his fault if Carew was enamored with the beautiful Bianca. King is just basically taking advantage of the situation. If you're going to spend more time watching the beautiful woman on the outside than your opponent, then, well, quite frankly, Steve, you deserve to be attacked.
Well, I don't know what you were watching, Adam. I don't think he was sitting there just watching her. I think he was quite upset that she was up on the ring apron. But I guess we see different things. And again,
What happened?
Drewski's got to keep an eye on her out there. She just smacked Kuru right in the face.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I missed that. I was just watching Kevin Drew, who was trying to keep control of this thing here. And, I wanted to say, I think he's doing a fine job of officiating this evening. Nothing gets past old Kevin Drew. So, yeah, good job, Kevin Drew. Keep it up.
Well, I know if Kevin saw that, he wouldn't be standing for it.
So what? He didn't. Well, look, he didn't see anything. So, like, what are we even talking about here, Steve? If the referee didn't see it, then it didn't happen.
Is that how it goes now?
Yeah, well, it's how the rules go. You know, if the referee doesn't see it, you can't get disqualified. You can't be penalized for it, right? Same thing in hockey, baseball, any of the other so-called sports out there.
Here comes another double team. Oh, and knocking Cadman off the apron in the process. And these two getting airborne off of one another.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on. That's the strategy you have to take against these two monsters.
Well, I guess that's one way to equal the sizes. Jump up to the same height.
Well, it's the same way that you have to stand on the stepladder whenever you and I are doing photos together.
Oh, super kick right to the jaw.
I mean, you got to be impressed with the athleticism of Alpha X Kaiju. These guys are throwing out moves that I wasn't expecting, and you can guarantee that the WMDs were not expecting.
I am definitely impressed from their showing so far this evening, but I'm not too impressed with the antics going on at ringside from Bianca, but that's another story.
Hey, you know what? Just because you're jealous that you could never, ever go on a date with a girl as pretty as Bianca doesn't mean you have to start associating all pretty girls with negative traits, Steve. I think that's a little rude of you, to be honest.
Actually, Adam, I'm just saying that you don't need to cheat.
Well, you know what?
But, okay.
The referee, Kevin Drew, has not called any cheating against Alpha X Kaiju, so as far as I'm concerned, those two have not cheated.
I think Drewski's on to her now. Oh no, there she goes again! It's because Tavius is distracting her.
Well, you know, Bianca was just simply helping out Kuru. I think that this mosquito might have gotten on him, and she was just there to swat it away.
Come on, Drewski, don't buy this. You're better than this. You know what they're up to. Don't fall for these games. And these guys, with this kind of potential, they don't need to be cheating like that. Watch, there she goes again!
What? Listen, I'm watching Kevin Drew talk to John over here. What are you watching?
Yeah, he's trying to get John to not cheat and choke Kuru on the ropes, and every time he turns around, Bianca, oh, that's it, Cadman's had enough.
Hey, you get that, yeah, come on, Drewski, get that big brute away from that innocent, sweet girl. Yeah, there you go, John, a real gentleman coming to the aid of Bianca while this beast tries to go after her. What a rude jerk. And now, Kevin Drew doing his job, making sure that Cadman Turner does not...
Come on, Drewski, turn around!
No, hey, listen, Kevin Drew has a job to do. He's got to keep some order in here. And if you get these big 600-pound monsters in there just doing whatever they want to do, you're just going to have absolute chaos. Come on. Steve, I thought you were a fan of the rules.
I am, and I'm also a fan of Drewski trying to enforce them here, but it's kind of hard to watch everybody when you've got two people behind your back, not just one.
Kevin Drew is doing exactly what he's paid to do, which is keep order and law in there. You need to respect the authority of Kevin Drew. And if he doesn't see any cheating, then he can't call anything. I would think that you were a trusting guy, Steve, and you would trust your officials more.
Well, you make it sound like I think Drewski's part of this charade.
I would never assume such a thing about our fine referees. Look at this now. Talk about a smart strategy here. Cutting off the blood flow to Kuru, trying to put him to sleep. And then look at that. As soon as the Giant starts
chopping him down,
the Giant starts to come back a little bit, King is right back on top of him. What a tenacious competitor. Smart wrestling.
I could have told you that was a bad idea.
Yeah, even I have to admit.
And that might have just cost Darius King.
Darius might have gotten a little cocky with that when you definitely do not want to match foreheads with Carew. That guy's got a head like a rock, both outside and inside.
Oh, up and down. And King felt that.
For a minute there, I thought King was just flying. I thought maybe he had another superpower. But nope, turns out Carew just got a hold of him. Now is the opportune time for Carew, but he's got King blocking his path. He's going to have an uphill battle here. No, King's now. He's getting out of the way. He's trying to make the tag, but that's
He's going to make it. He's going to make it. And he made it. And here comes Cadman.
Oh, man, he doesn't look happy.
I would not want to be standing across from a pissed off Cadman, that's for sure.
I don't like standing.
And big boot.
I don't like standing across from a happy Cadman. That guy's dangerous even when he's smiling.
Oh, he's got him. And there's Bianca again.
Well, yeah.
I've been seeing more of her this match than anyone. Oh, and with a kick to the chops.
I would say that's a treat.
Oh, and there's Karma.
Well, no, there's Carew. What? Hey, you.
Oh, look at she doesn't know what to do.
Put her down, you beast.
There you go.
How rude of that vicious idiot to throw a woman at his opponent like that. She is not some sort of steel chair you can just toss around. That's despicable.
He was just giving her back.
How can you sit there and allow a woman to be treated like that?
I would just believe that was Karma. And now Cadman's got him up and down with the choke slam. That's got to be all she wrote.
No way. Come on.
And WMD retained their titles with brute force. Bianca proved to not be able to make a difference. She tried.
Oh, I think she did make a difference, Steve. I think if she hadn't been out there being manhandled by these two brutes, that we would have new tag team champions. I'm putting this one squarely on the manners of Carew and Cadman Turner. If the WMD's mothers are listening to this right now, you did a terrible job raising your children. I can't even believe this is happening. You call this replay. I don't want to talk about it.
I would love to, Adam. And at this point, I think, is when John realized he was in trouble. Look at the look on his face.
Well, he tried to give it everything he had, but unfortunately,
and look at that.
Once you get those fingers wrapped around your throat, there's only one way to go: up, then down. I'm pretty disgusted with this. I would think I would rather see anybody else right now, but these two losers.
Steve Costello here, and I'm with John Gonzalez.
Oh, you're going to screw it up like that guy too? What are you guys doing here anyway? You get out of my way. I don't need an interviewer. I don't need an announcer. I could do everything myself. I could just grab a mic from the get-go, just come out with a microphone and talk for myself. If I want to interview myself, I could just grab a phone and do it myself. I don't need anybody to introduce me because I do it poorly. The real John Gonzalez. It's not complicated. What happened out there is a joke. I'm undefeated in proper regulation singles competition. And yet again, they stack the cards, 3 opponents. I gotta fight off 3 guys now? That's ridiculous. That loss doesn't count. This guy, this Ad Hutchinson guy, like, okay, you got lucky, Adam. Next time I face you, it'll be one-on-one, and I promise you the result will be different. I promise you there'll be a real match, because you'll be going one-on-one against a real John Gonzalez, and the only real wrestling Northland has to offer. And I'll make sure that the debacle that just happened will be completely forgotten and erased from history. Also, the real t-shirts are out. Make sure you buy them.
The following contest is brought to you by Paris Home Hardware, and it's for the North Star Championship. Introducing first.
Jessie Mack, a well-traveled competitor, proving once again that the North Star division here, Northland Wrestling, definitely one of the most hotly contested divisions. Jessie Mack has held championships all over the province, and now she's setting her sights on adding one more belt to her collection. You know that she's really only interested in getting that thing so that she can take some photos for the gram, as the kids say. You on Instagram, Steve?
I am not, Adam.
No surprise. You're not cool.
So my kids tell me. There she is.
From the Fiji Islands, she is the Island Princess and North Star Champion, Divya.
You know, don't let those dance moves fool you. She's having a good time right now, but once that bell rings, Divya is all business, all right? She's from the Fiji Islands, all right? The only things that they do on the Fiji Islands are fight and dance, and Divya's great at both of them.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Adam. She's coming off an impressive win back at the Miller Memorial Cup in a triple threat match. That's how she obtained the title.
Well, listen, you should always agree with me because I know what I'm talking about. That's why I'm the truth, okay? But you're absolutely right. Divya has been on a roll lately, and let's be honest, a lot of people were not expecting her to walk away with that North Star Championship at the Cup. Of course, I knew better because I always know better. But recently, I've been very impressed with her focus. You know, Divya, she comes out here, she's all smiles and dancing, but I gotta tell you, the more and more I watch her, the more I realize that she's starting to drown these fans out. She's starting to let them kind of roll off her back, and that's the winning attitude of a champion.
These ladies lock up. Divya pushing her back to the corner. And, Jessie pushing her back out, and then they break.
It's a feeling out process at this point, Steve. You know, Jessie Mack is a fairly fresh face here in Northland Wrestling. Divya herself has not been around very long. She's had a sensational rookie year here with Northland Wrestling, already getting to the top of her division. And you know, Jessie Mack,
quick roll up.
She's very, very accomplished, but she's doing everything for the likes. You know what I mean? Her whole goal in life is just to try to get those little thumbs up and those little emojis, those smiley face emojis on Facebook and Instagram. She's just trying to become famous, right? Just like all these lazy millennials these days.
Well, I was trying to get a word with her backstage before the show, and I couldn't get her away from her phone. She wouldn't even look up and acknowledge me, so I just moved on.
Well, let's be honest, Steve. That's pretty typical with you and most women.
Now the lady's showing off their muscle, and a test of strength.
I think this is a bad move on the part of Jessie Mack. Divya's got a more solid body structure here. As you can see there, she has very powerful legs and a lower center of gravity here. And you see she's using that to her advantage by getting the upper hand here. And if Jessie Mack isn't careful, she's going to find her head in the mat sooner rather than later.
And Divya showing a lot of her technical background here.
Like I said, man, fighting and dancing. When those two things are your favorite pastimes, you're going to get really good really fast at both of them. Wow. Some really good wrestling from these two competitors here. And I got to say, I'm impressed.
Divya's got her by the hair.
Jessie Mack hasn't really done a lot in terms of offense, but she's been really great defensively here. And you can see right there, she's trying to find a way to find a crack in the armor of Divya. And it's kept her on her toes a little bit during the early moments of this contest.
Divya ducks under the chop, and now, ladies exchanging blows. Great awareness from Divya. Reverses that Irish whip, and Jessie ain't iron.
That's a hard landing there, Steve. When skull meets steel, Steel is going to win every single time. Jessie Mack probably doesn't even know what planet she's on. Jessie Mack probably thinks she actually is on Instagram right now, like as if Instagram was a physical place.
Well, she's not going to have time to figure that out because Divia's staying right on top of her.
As she should. A beautiful
suplex.
Yeah, that was gorgeous from Divya right there. Could have a win.
Hooks the leg.
Thought we actually would have had the win right there from Divya just because of the discombobulation that Jessie Mack must be feeling right now. And maybe we should hashtag that, huh? Hashtag discombobulation. You think that Jessie Mack will be using that in her selfies after the match? When she's icing up her head and neck and trying to figure out what the heck happened in there?
You'll have to see if it's trending after the show.
Well, if I start it, it definitely will.
Divya with the camel clutch. Oh! And stomping on the back of Jessie.
Well, she's following up, right? She's not letting Jessie make any wiggle room between her and victory. And that's the real mark of a champion. You see, once that bell rang, she stopped smiling. She stopped listening to these fans. She's all business in there right now, Steve, and I like it.
And Jessie ducks under, but Divya caught her on the way back, and backbreaker.
Yeah, that's really gotta hurt. And with the added pressure of that camel clutch earlier, Jessie Mack is in a real tough position right now. She's been on the defense for most of this matchup here. If she doesn't start getting some momentum here, Steve, I think this could be a very lopsided victory.
Well, anything can change in a moment's notice, but we're going to have to watch to see if Divya keeps working on that lower back of Jessie. It seems to be her main focus right now.
Wow, it's because she's a smart
Divya.
wrestler.
Oh, Divya couldn't get her up, and Jessie reversed it, and I don't know if she got her all the way up, but it might have been more effective because it looks like Divya landed on the side of her head.
I'll admit that was some pretty impressive adrenaline from Jessie Mack to try and power over the larger Divya, but it might not have been enough.
Quick roll up, and Divya kicks out. Then Divya returns it with a shot to Jessie's face.
It was only a moment that Jessie tried to make the best of it. Unfortunately, she's just taken far too much punishment. My question here, Steve, is do you think that Jessie's comeback there, was it a moment of adrenaline, or do you think she was playing possum?
2, 3, 4.
It's hard to say, Adam, but I do think both these ladies are starting to take it personally now. As you're seeing a little bit more aggression, and they're starting to exchange words with one another.
Hey, look, Divya is the champion, and Jessie Mack is trying to take that title away from her. I don't know how much more personal that can be. We're talking about a woman here who has fought and scratched and clawed her way to the top of the North Star division here in Northland Wrestling. And for some girl to just walk in here with her cell phone and try and take that away from her, yeah, I think that's a pretty personal threat.
Oh, Jessie with another roll up.
She's going to have to start doing more than that if she hopes to win this matchup here.
Well, all it takes is you to catch someone off guard, and before you know it, titles change hands. And
remember what I said earlier about those power lifts, those squats, the leg power? It's coming into play right there.
Divya trying to roll her right up. Look at that.
All that dancing that Divya does has created a pretty muscular hip that she can use as a weapon in that ring. You gotta love it when two hobbies come together like that.
Or when two talented individuals come together like this.
Hey, there's no denying Jessie Mack's talent for sure, but Divya has been super impressive here in this entire matchup here, and she's been dominant. Look at the way that she's wrenching on that knee of Jessie Mack here, and Mack, she's in a lot of trouble because she is square in the middle of that ring. And now look at this, Divya turning into a Muda lock. Beautiful.
And not too many people get out of a Muda lock.
Jessie Mack might not be an exception here. She's going to have to try and find a way to break this hold or get to those ropes. and she is not in a position to do either. But look at this. She's like a tenacious little caterpillar.
Look at the strength. She is pulling Divya on her back while being stretched backwards. And she made it.
That is not strength, even though it did take a lot of power to do that. Let's just be honest, call it what it is, Steve. That's just sheer determination. That was sheer will on the part of Jessie Mack. But I don't know if she was smart to do that. Have you never heard the saying, live to fight another day? The way that Jessie Mack has been taking all this punishment, I don't know if it's going to be healthy for her.
Oh, Fisherman Plex into a pin and doesn't get it.
Jessie.
Now, Jessie Mack, you were saying to fight another day. Well, champions never give up, and she's showing the heart of a champion right now. We could potentially see the title change hands, Adam.
I'm more interested.
She's got the heart.
I'm more interested in the face of the champion. Did you see that look on the mug of Divya when Jessie Mack kicked out of that fisherman suplex? She couldn't believe it. But now, looks like,
oh, DDT.
This could be the opening that Jessie Mack has been waiting for this entire match. And look at Divya. She might have been knocked out cold, but if Jessie Mack can't capitalize, that's not going to do her any good.
And it's going to be a race to see which one of these two ladies get to their feet first.
Yeah, Divya is out. Look at her. She does not even know what planet she's on right now.
Jessie looks like she's up first. Oh, under, and oh. There's another one.
This is the time to take advantage of it, and she is doing just that.
Oh!
Kicked her right in the mush.
I heard that from over here.
Not enough to put
and
away
a near fall.
The champion has still got a lot of gas left in the tank. Jessie has got to really build some momentum here right now if she has any chance of walking away with that North Star Championship.
Face buster, and she had Divya by the hair, so you know she came snapping down.
This could be it right here.
No, and oh, Divya, was she playing possum? Triangle.
That could have been a risky move on her part if she...
Oh, she's got the leg locked.
She's got it in there now for sure. That might have been a brilliant move on the part of Divya if she was playing possum, Steve, because to take that kind of risk means you have to be very confident.
Excellent ring awareness from Jessie Mack. She knew she wasn't getting out of it, so she rolled Divya onto her back to get the pin to encourage the breakup, but Divya quickly kicked her in the face and ended that rebuttal.
Well, you know, she's just taken too much punishment, and now it looks like we could be seeing the beginning of the end. Here it comes, the Samoan drop. She's famous for this. Oh, and right on the back of the head and neck. This one's over, Steve.
I don't know too many who would be kicking out of a drop like that. Led by her shoulder.
A hard-fought and well-earned victory for Divya. This rookie sensation has really come out of nowhere and just made her mark here in Northland Wrestling. I gotta tell you, I was super impressed with her throughout this entire contest. I think it'll be a while before we see Jessie Mack again. Let's take a look again at that absolutely gorgeous Samoan drop that almost matches the beauty of our North Star champion. As we take a look here, Mack up on the shoulders. She gets spun around. Divya takes a moment to enjoy the glorious victory that she is about to obtain. And that's all she wrote for that one. Pretty impressive.
You know what we did tonight?
Ezanem çimen kid.
Do you know what we did tonight?
Ezanem çimen kid. Tozan çimen kid.
Hey! English!
I know what we did.
You speak English?
Yeah,
He speaks English.
Sorry about that. I got carried away. I got amped, pretty amped.
Why?
We dominated.
Because we are the Northland champions. We're the Northland Tag Team champions. Come on, bring them all. You send one, you send them all. We're going to knock them down. Woo!
brought to you by Fit Body Boot Camp. Introducing already in the ring, Rob Frostile. And to introduce his opponent, I'd like to welcome to the ring from Mount Kilimanjaro, the Master.
From Mount
You hear that? The
Kilimanjaro.
Master. Yeah, well, you know, these guys are worldly. You know, they need their privacy, Steve. They've been all over the world to try and find inner peace and try to teach us all a lesson. That takes time. That takes travel. You know, you trust me. If there's one thing I know, you're never going to find inner peace or any sort of enlightenment here in North Bay.
The only reason why I hold this microphone is to demand silence.
What?
I demand silence.
He said he demands silence, Steve.
Silence! I have a message from the past. You are all slaves. Slaves to your phone. Slaves to the internet. You are all slaves to technology. And we are here to free you from your captivity and bondage. You are to be saved by this man, this individual who represents the oldest sport on planet Earth, wrestling, and he will bring you freedom. I give to you the beholder.
Well, at least that explains the papers that those weird people were. Yeah, those people were handing out
Whoa.
before the show. Like,
Whoa,
what the hell's going on here? Where did Dan
weird?
find these people?
Weird people? Where do you get off, Steve, calling these guys weird? Have you looked in the mirror lately? You know, talk about weird. That's the pot calling the kettle black if I've ever heard it.
Well, at least when I look in the mirror, I can see myself. Like, these guys are all robed up and faces covered. And
That's because they've moved beyond mirrors, Steve. These guys have moved beyond worldly possessions. These guys are at a level that you couldn't even imagine. And here they are, trying to educate you, trying to enlighten you, trying to show you a better path, and you're just quick to criticize them. You're just sitting there, typing on your phone, trying to get all the likes out there on the internets, and these guys are trying to tell you that you're a slave to your technology, Steve. You know, maybe you should put down your phone. In fact, you know what? I think it would do you some good to put down your headset, put down your microphone, just step away from the monitors, the technology, get as far away from your microphone as possible. I think your microphone is really dragging you down, Steve.
of course you would think that, Adam. Now I wonder what Jessie Mack thinks of these guys. Because she lives on her phone.
Well, I think that, you know, that poor girl is more focused on trying to fix her neck rather than pay attention to what the Master and the Beholder and his followers have to say here. But you gotta respect a team that comes out together like this. You know, like when you get an MMA fight and there's a bunch of trainers that surround a top athlete, a star. That's kind of like what this is, except it's deeper than that. It's more personal than that. These guys, they're bonded. You know, that's really... I mean, I know you don't understand it because you've never had friends, but this is really what it's like to have really good, true friends and companions.
What's going on here? Why? Start the match already.
Hey, you know what? If you've ever seen a professional fighter, they got to get ready. They got to get prepped. They have to get in the right mental state of mind, and that's exactly what's happening here. This guy here, the Beholder, he is an athlete of the highest quality and caliber.
Well,
it takes time to prepare for that.
He's taken ritual to a whole another level.
Hey, man, don't be discriminating.
No, come on, get back here. Come on, where are you going?
Hey, listen, there are people out there in the audience using their cell phones, using technology, and the Master has very politely asked them to not use their technology. the guy can't concentrate if you're out here distracting him with all this technology and mechanics and all these whirring machines using electricity. That's not fair. That's an unfair advantage for this. What's the guy's name?
Rob Strong
Styles. Sorry. He was just. I didn't bother learning his name. Let's be honest here. He doesn't stand a chance against the Beholder. But this is what I'm saying. Look at all these disrespectful people out here after the Master has very politely asked them to not use technology, and here they are yelling at the Beholder. Such intolerance, such hate, Steve. It breaks my heart.
Is that why he's not fighting? Because people have their phones on? Like, get in the ring and wrestle, buddy. Let's go.
Well, I mean, yes, of course it is. Everywhere he looks, these people are flashing their technology in his face, something that he's dedicated his life to destroying.
Yeah,
and now look at this. Strong Styles up here attacking an innocent bystander. How can you guys cheer for a man like this when you have somebody like the Beholder trying to teach us all some great beliefs? And look at this. The man has not been in the ring more than 10 seconds, and he's already got a huge advantage in this match. Look at the power. Look at this guy. He's getting hit, and it's having no effect on him, Steve. This man has a tolerance for pain like no other, and I think it's because of the lack of technology. Technology's making guys like you you already soft way long before technology, but the point is that when you eliminate technology like the Beholder has, look at the effect it has on you.
Oh, and right to the throat.
I mean, forget the pamphlets. You want proof of the way of life that these guys are living. It is right there, personified in the Beholder.
Oh, and he's got him in some kind of bicep slicer. And you can see the pain that he's in and the discomfort. Let him go. The match is over. What's wrong with this guy?
You have to teach a lesson in a very harsh way in order for it to get through to somebody. And clearly from the way that Strong Styles was acting earlier, he did not learn his lesson.
He just refuses to let go. Come on, ref, no, behind you, get him off him.
You see what he's doing here? I know this for a fact because I'm a journalist. I find out my information. Strong Styles, his right arm is the arm that he uses his cell phone with. So what he's doing is he's trying to teach a lesson to Strong Styles by force and showing him, hey man, you don't need that phone. You need to just put it down. And if you won't do it under your own will, then the Master and the Beholder will make you do it by force. So why don't you do us all a favor, put your phone down, Steve, and call exactly what happened at the end of this match.
Well, you can see here that Styles, as he got up, right into what looked like to be it was going to be a mandible claw of some sort, and then quickly Beholder switches and locks in that bicep slicer. You can see immediately the pain that Styles is in and taps out.
Something tells me that Northland Wrestling is in for a lot of education, whether they want it or not, from the Master and the Beholder.
Well, I took care of Ray already once, and this time I'll take care of him again. Ray has no business stepping foot into a Northland ring. Ray has no business stepping in front of me. I don't want that guy to ever cast a shadow in front of me, because Ray Beauchamp, as far as I'm concerned, is in the past. I'm the owner of Northland Wrestling. Everyone at Northland works for me. I call the shots. It's my right as the champion. It's my right as the owner to do what the hell I want. And on February 22nd at Conquest IV, no, I am not getting into the ring with anyone, because no one on the roster, no man on the roster, no dude on the roster, there is no guy on the roster that deserves a shot.
You're probably looking for someone, let's say athleticism, charisma, fire and heart. I am the elite athlete. I am the franchise, and I am the main event. No male back there can measure up with me. So you defend that Patriot title, the ultimate Canadian title, to be the champion of the true North, strong and free. Guess what? Nova is the North. That's my house, my territory. gladly take that title from you. So,
Jarvis.
what do you say?
I heard. After I went on record to say that there's no man in the Northland locker room worthy of a shot at the True Patriot Championship, someone actually manned up. And that man was a woman. Yeah, that's right. Nova challenged me, Dan Jarvis, for the True Patriot Championship. Now guys, don't laugh. Let's do it. You and me for the True Patriot Championship.
The following contest is brought to you by Blonde Paper Products and is for the True Patriot Championship. Introducing first,
I saw Nova backstage and she is jacked, hype, ready to go. This is an opportunity of a lifetime for her, and I think Dan's might have met his match. He might have bit off more he could chew with this one.
Have you been drinking, Steve? What is wrong with you? Dan has met his match? No. We both know Nova should not even be in this contest. And that has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman. It has to do with the fact that she has less than a year here in the business. She's a rookie. She has no place challenging for a championship this early.
And her opponent.
Well, I see we have differing opinions on the matter. We'll have to see what happens here. But I think Dan's time's limited.
Yeah, we have different opinions. Mine's right and yours is wrong.
Weighing in at 185 pounds, from Northland, Ontario, he is the True Patriot Champion, Dan Jarvis!
Here comes the boss. Steve, I think you should stand up. I think you should get up off your feet and applaud for your boss here.
I don't know what's gotten into him. I don't know if that title's gone to his head, but the arrogance he spews around the locker room and in the offices, it's horrible.
It's not arrogance, all right? It's assurance. This man knows what he's got. That's the Canadian True Patriot Championship right there, okay? This guy knows he's good. It ain't arrogant. It's not cocky if you back it up. There you go. See, he says, I am here to see Dan Jarvis. Look at that. One true Northland Wrestling fan of the whole bunch there. And Steve, when it comes to the way Dan acts around the office, that's not Dan giving you a hard time. That's just you. You have that effect on people. You're kind of like one of those Horcruxes they have in Harry Potter. Just when people get around you, they just get into a sour mood. And you bring out the worst in people, Steve. That's not Dan, that's you. You're the problem. Just like these people. They don't understand they're the problem. It's not Dan. These people are the problem. Dan's been giving this city quality wrestling the last few years, and these people, they get all indignant and they all turn their backs on him just because what? Oh, because he doesn't like their favorite hometown hero. Well, because he retired Ray Beauchamp. Personally, I love the guy for that. I think he deserves a parade and a medal and a statue for doing that. And now you have Dan here showing some respect to that Canadian championship, that True Patriot Championship. Dan kind of is the ultimate Canadian if you think about it. He's polite, he's kind, he's generous. Look at him giving this rookie Nova a shot when she clearly doesn't deserve it. Doesn't get more Canadian than that.
Well, he's definitely something. And look at the crowd backing Nova now, showing their support.
Yeah, but clearly they've proven they don't know anything. They're going to boo Dan Jarvis here because he got rid of a pest like Ray Beauchamp. I mean, that shows exactly how educated these people really are. And look at Dan. How wonderful is he? What a nice guy. He's even giving them a little fitness lesson right before his matchup, because he knows he's not going to need a lot of time to defeat Nova here. He's just in too good a shape. That's really what it is. It's almost unfair how good a shape he's in compared to Nova, really.
Nova's in pretty good shape herself, and she's getting a hell of a lot more of a reaction than Dan is.
Yeah, well, it's not a popularity contest, Steve. It's a wrestling match. And that's why Dan's going to walk in the same way he walked out.
Look at.
Yeah.
Of course.
Here's the thing. Nova got distracted with all those people, and Dan went for the pinfall, but turned it into a submission hold. This guy can hit you and beat you from all different angles, all right? We know this. So don't you go ahead there and start your celebration too early, because Nova didn't do anything there, all right? That was all Jarrus.
What's he doing now? Trying to dictate how the rules are going to go?
No, he's trying to give her a chance to back out, obviously. He doesn't want to beat her up. He doesn't want to embarrass her in front of this crowd. He doesn't want Nova to lose self-esteem. I mean, look, there's nothing, don't get me wrong, okay? There's no shame in losing to the absolute best. But even still, that does something to your psyche as a competitor. And Dan just doesn't want her to feel bad when, he beats her.
Well, you better be careful what he says in there, because she's going to make him eat those words.
How are you so sure about that, Steve? I mean, Nova has been impressive in the short time that she's been in Northland Wrestling, but I want to emphasize that word short. She hasn't had the experience that Dan has. She hasn't had the time to really season her skills. How are you so sure that someone like her is just going to waltz in here and become a champion, become an overnight sensation?
Well, I'll let her actions dictate my opinions.
Yeah, that's your problem, Steve. You're always letting everybody else make your choices for you. Stand up and be a man. Have an opinion like I do. See, I don't just go with all these sheep out here who say, oh no, Dan's a bad guy because he retired Ray Beauchamp. I'm able to see through all that and understand that no, what Dan did was good for business, because now we don't have to listen to or see or hear about Ray Beauchamp anymore. And that just makes me tickled. You see there, some great ring awareness from Dan. Nova somehow managed to get a headlock on Dan, probably because he let her, and he was able to get to the ropes to say, okay, you know what, playtime is over. Now it's time for me to get back and show you what real wrestling is.
I think he's regrouping and trying to figure out what he has to do here differently, because he underestimated his competition coming in, but again, that's my opinion. You probably think it's wrong again.
Well, I'd say you're half wrong. I think he definitely is trying to figure out what he needs to do, but it's not because he's worried about losing to Nova. It's because he doesn't want her to be embarrassed and hurt. That's the problem. Dan, he's a nice guy. He's really generous, and, I don't know about you, but my paychecks have never been better, and it's all because of his generosity. And the fact that he's even allowed Nova to wrestle him, and look at that, blowing a kiss. That's very gentlemanly. He didn't try to do anything mean or nasty. He actually tried to, and that's how she repays his generosity, by slapping him across the chest. That's really rude. I don't know who Nova's parents are, but they ought to be ashamed of the way that they raised her.
I think they'd be quite impressed with her right now. She is in control of this match. And again, Dan to the outside to regroup.
Let's not confuse our situation here. She's not in control of the match, okay? She just landed a few moves.
Oh yeah? Look who's on the run now.
Once again,
get him.
You are going along with all these sheep. You guys see Dan running. I saw him warming up, that's all. And right there, he didn't miss that elbow drop, okay? He's just practicing taking some bumps so that, if he gets in a situation where he has to go hit that mat hard, he's prepared for it. That's all this is. It's just preparation. You guys are just, you're too first level, right? You got to get on our level to be able to see the real strategy that's happening here with Dan.
Nova showing agility, and then with the arm drag.
Well, yeah, sure, she can run around. That's really impressive and everything.
Drop kick and takes out Troy, the referee.
Well, that's probably how she hopes to win the thing. The only way she could possibly get an advantage over Dan is if she somehow knocked the referee out and hit him with a steel chair or cheated. And see, there you go. Steve, you talked about all the athleticism of Nova, all the jumping around she did, all the flips, and look where it got her, huh? It got her into the turnbuckle, and now she's locked in with a single leg crab, the maple leaf crab made famous by Lance Storm, another great Patriot, another great Canadian. You know, I gotta tell you something. I almost kind of want to stand up and start singing the national anthem right now.
Yeah, he's got her hair. He's got her hair.
Well, no. He's just reaching back to check on her. He's just making sure she's okay and that she's not in too much pain. Because, you know, Dan's a pretty good guy when you get to know him. That's the thing, is you guys just don't know Dan on the same level that, you know, guys like me do.
Well, you hit the nail on the head earlier on why you're praising your boss, and I have a feeling it has to do with the recent pay increases.
No. Dan just understands and appreciates talent, that's all. Really, the key is once we got rid of Adam Andrews, once he was out of here, you know what I mean? Things got back on track. And now look at this, a Boston crab made famous by another Canadian wrestler, the model Rick Martel. You know what? Forget it, I am going to... Oh, Canada. Steve, stand up and put your hand over your heart, Steve. Come on.
Can you save your patriotism for later on and actually enjoy the match?
Sir, I cannot help it if I am inspired by this wonderful land of ours, the Great White North, and an incredible champion to represent it like Dan Jarrus. See, look at that. You want to talk about Dan being a nice guy? There it is, right there. Had the opportunity to cripple Nova, and instead decided not to do it. You know, that's a nice guy.
Oh, yeah?
Me.
Well, looks like he's up to something again.
Well, sure. I mean, he could have...
Oh, there he goes. Hair again.
Wow, I mean, he could have broken her leg, and instead he's just, you know, damaging her ribs. I think that's a much less painful injury, don't you? It's really all about how much he wants to hurt her. And I think he's being very, very gentle with her, considering the damage he could do. That's something that you guys never think about, you know? You never stop to think about how hard it is to be Dan Jarrus. Dan Jarrus wields incredible power, both physically and in the world of business. And you guys sit there and you just like want to nitpick at all the little tiny mistakes the guy makes, which are few and far between. But guys like you and guys like Ray Beauchamp and all these stupid fans out here all want to take him to task for all the little things. But you guys fail to recognize how heavy is the head that wears the crown. And believe me, it is a very heavy head. This is the guy that has been responsible for wrestling in our city, in our great land, and I dare say our great country, considering he is the Patriot champion. And all you guys want to do is point out all the tiny little flaws when you don't understand the burden that this man takes on. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Well, while you went on your tirade, we saw a nice burst of offense from Nova with 3 suplexes in sequence and then a spear, and I think she gassed herself because Dan's actually going to be the first one up.
Yeah, you see? Dan knows a lot more than you guys give him credit for. You guys saw...
Oh!
Can you believe that?
Referee down!
That clumsy ref getting in the way of Dan. You know, Dan has made some good decisions, but I think he's really going to have to reevaluate his officials' budget because I'm telling you, those officials have to stop getting in the way and being so clumsy.
Well, maybe he should invest some of your salary in their pay.
Hey, come on. Let's not go crazy here, Steve. You have to invest the money properly. I earned what I get on my paychecks, okay? I'm just saying, you know, someone like Nova, for example, she's going to lose this matchup. I say just dock a little bit extra. Because let's be honest, you know, if she was in a better position, that probably wouldn't have happened to the referee. It's really her fault. And let's be honest, if there was a referee in here right now, this match would be over. I can read lips, you know. And Nova's saying, I give up. And not only she's saying,
I'm not seeing any tapping.
Oh, no, okay, there it is, right there. She's tapping out.
That's just rallying the fans.
Wait a minute, who the heck is this? Hey, somebody get this man out of here. Somebody stop
I
this
think
guy.
we know.
Somebody stop whoever that is in there. Come on, security. Somebody Steve, get out there and get this guy out of here. Whoever he is, he's not a wrestler. Get him out of here. Look at him trying to attack Dan like this. This is ridiculous. Whoever this
Maybe the
idiot
boss should invest in some more on security. I think this is great.
Wait a minute. What does this guy think he's...
Oh, double arm DDT, and now Dan's out. No referee.
Wait a minute. There's only one guy I know who does a DDT like that. You don't think... Oh, Steve, if that's who
I think we all know who it is.
If that's who I think it is, Steve, that this is the worst travesty that I have ever seen here in Northland Wrestling. I can't believe security was not around to get that moron, that bum, out of here. He shouldn't be here. He should have had to buy a ticket just like anyone else.
We're going to see history right here.
What do you thought? No, we're not.
Oh, Dan gets the shoulder up.
That's right. You and all your little fans out there can just be quiet, and instead of focusing on this foregone conclusion that Dan is going to win here, focus on getting that bum arrested. We all know who it is. That mask isn't fooling anybody. That guy should be arrested. He should be jailed.
Oh!
And that should be the end of it. What?
And we have a new True Patriot champion.
This is a tragedy.
Nova with her first title win.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I demand that they restart this match. This is not fair. There was interference from a man who should have been banned from the building. The referee was unconscious. She tapped out. There is a million reasons why this should not stand. Somebody get Adam Andrews out here. I don't even care that he's not in power anymore. He's got to make some changes. Get that lazy old fat freebird out here. Get him to make some changes. Not that he would know anything about fair wrestling for the amount of cheating he's done in his lifetime. This is a travesty. Steve, how can Nova celebrate knowing that the true champion and a real Canadian is unconscious on the floor right now? This is disgusting.
I think this is a well-earned victory for Nova.
Well, sure, you and all these fans do. It's the result you wanted.
Her first ever title, too.
This is so unfair. I can't believe this. You better call this here because I refuse to talk about this travesty.
You see here, we all know who that is in the mask. Drops the elbow. Here's the famous double arm DDT.
I know that DDT. I have felt that DDT. And if that guy thinks he's going to get away with this, well, he's got another thing coming. You know what? I will personally call my lawyers and make sure that this is reversed. This is a travesty. This should not be happening. And I honestly can't believe that you would allow something like this.
Uranagi
Don't show this. This never
hooks
happened.
the leg, and there's history for you, folks.
Yeah, history is in. This will be erased from history. It'll never happen. It will be a distant memory sooner rather than later because this should not have happened. There was interference. The match was over when Jarrus had the figure 4 on. I'm flabbergasted. I cannot believe that you and these fans and Jimmy Garvin and anybody else allowed this to happen. You all should be ashamed of yourself for making this terrible night happen for Dan Jarrus after everything that he's done for you people.
I think he's
Shut
beside
your mouth,
himself.
Steve. The champ is about to talk.
I really don't get the hate. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, you sure are, Dan.
Hold on. I think we're going to start testing our plan because that was enough.
Oh, making excuses already.
Guys, seriously, what have I ever done wrong to any of you?
Yeah,
Nothing.
that's right.
I've given you people everything a man can give. You guys wanted pop rock wrestling in North Bay, and I gave that to you.
You sure did.
not what they asked for, but
I did,
okay.
and he gave me exactly what I wanted. That bum out of the company.
He gave us that, and Nova's the one that delivered on it.
I think after you guys at great expense to myself. I need DVDs, baby, and you guys all here.
You never trust a free bird, Steve.
I'm a nice guy. That's my daughter. She's right, baby. I'm a nice guy. Right?
He's got kids, Steve.
And I think she agrees with the rest of us.
This mob has brainwashed the man's children.
You guys are going na. That's a waste of your breath. Because I'm not going anywhere. If anything, oh, wait a minute. Who was that freaking troll-looking dude in the mask standing over me? I know who that was. I'm not stupid. In fact, I'm the smartest guy in the room. How many people are in here? About 350 people? I'm smarter than every freaking one of you. I know how to play. You know what? I'm not going anywhere. Nova, congratulations, please. Keep the bell nice and warm for me. Go take your professional pictures. Celebrate your win. Just get ready to have your dreams come crashing down around you when I take what's mine back. Okay, you guys enjoy the rest of the night. I'm a nice guy.
Well, someone's bitter.
That was beautiful. That man's a treasure. That's the true Patriot champion right there.
The first round match in the 2019 Miller Memorial Cup.
Scotty has successfully defended the King of the North Championship and advanced to the next round of the King of the North title match. Jake doesn't seem to have any regard for the rules.
No, this not like this, no! Ah,
Jake
come on!
wins! Jake wins! Jake O'Reilly triumphant in his return.
The semifinal round of the 2019 Miller Memorial Cup.
Scotty the Body wins again! Jake O'Reilly's daring him to take advantage. Jake O'Reilly wins in record time!
The final round of the 2019 Miller Memorial Cup.
Jake's got it here. The fans certainly love Scotty the Body here.
Scotty the Body just cannot win.
Scotty the Body has fulfilled his destiny.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is brought to you by Lou Jewelry. It is our main event of the evening, and it's for the King of the North Championship. Introducing first.
Here we go, Steve. Main event time.
And this is a rematch from the Miller Memorial Cup. The final of the Miller Memorial Cup, to be exact.
It's going to be really interesting to see how the strategy changes for both of these men now that they're in a different scenario and both are fresh.
And he is a jerk and a half.
I'm going to make a bold prediction here, Steve. I'm going to say that Irish Jake O'Reilly walks out of here as the new King of the North. This guy has held the belt before. He's got his focus. He's not playing to these fans. He's here for one thing and one thing only, to be the champion. When you've got a focused Jake O'Reilly, you've got a dangerous man on your hands.
Now, Jake is one tough individual. He also has an extensive background in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. However, him and Scotty have met numerous times in Northland, twice, and both times Scotty has gotten the W over Jake, so he might have Jake's number.
No. You got to think of the old saying, the third time is the charm. And that's going to be the case here for O'Reilly.
Was that like an Irish Lucky Charms joke?
You be quiet.
And boy, do the kids love the champ.
Well, of course, because because Scotty's a big kid himself. Look at him. Goofy haircut, putting on makeup. He probably runs around the ring just like you did when you were 5 years old, didn't you, Steve?
I don't remember, Adam.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Most traumatic victims tend to block out bad memories. That's why I never remember doing commentary with you. You want to talk about the luck of the Irish. Trust me when I say that Jake O'Reilly is no luck needed. You know why? Because he's got chairs.
Oh, I see that. He's making that clear. And, well, Scotty's going to have a seat and wait for Jake to finish his little temper tantrum and get this match underway.
He's not throwing a temper tantrum. He's intimidating the champ. Look at that, huh? Yeah, you want...
I'd watch out, Drewski. You're going to get caught by one of those.
We're not that lucky. You want to talk...
What did Drewski ever do to you, Adam?
He's made me sit through his refereeing. He's cheated a lot of good men out of victories. That's my problem with Drewski.
Keeping the locker room held back, eh?
All I'm saying is that we know that there are some real uncrowned champions in the back right now. But tonight, I'm only worried about crowning a new champion in the form of Irish Jake O'Reilly. You talk about the luck of the Irish. Jake O'Reilly only needs one thing, and it's not luck, it's his fists. And trust me, he knows how to use those better than anybody on the roster. Yeah, see all these fat slobs sitting out here in the front row? Yeah, they're all pretty quiet once Jake actually gets in their face, huh? Because they know Jake will punch him. He don't care who you are. Jake O'Reilly, if you make him mad, he'll just knock you right in the teeth.
Well, he's got a whole auditorium full of people to do that too, because they're all chanting for Scotty.
Well, if they're not careful, he'll come out and he'll punch every one of them. He's got all night. You better sit down, old man. He'll take that cane and he'll stick it out to Ireland if you get what I'm saying there.
Jake taking his time. Oh, there, he's back in the ring.
Well, sure, he can take his time. He's a tactician, like you said. He's a master of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You may not know this, but he holds a black belt in pro wrestling. He's the only black belt in pro wrestling. This guy understands it's not about speed. See, that's Scotty's game. Scotty's game is to come in like a wrecking ball and just smash things in his path, right? But when Jake O'Reilly forces him to slow down, lose momentum, cool off those muscles, that's when Jake O'Reilly's going to strike, because that's when he's most dangerous.
Is he asking Drewski to seriously kick fans out now? Come on, Jake, let's go. Get the match started.
No, he's simply checking Kevin's credentials. That's what it is. Because let's be honest, if you saw a guy like Kevin on the street and said, hey, I got authority, you wouldn't believe him. That man does not look authoritative in any way, shape, or form. I wouldn't believe he was a referee myself if I hadn't seen his license. He just wants a fair match. Because let's be honest, this company has screwed Jake O'Reilly time and time again, so he just doesn't want that to happen tonight.
I think Jake screws Jake time and time again. Oh, wasted no time with a suplex. Oh, and Scotty right back to his feet, and Jake, once again, more worried about the fans, takes a chop, gets dropped. Oh, another one.
Well, how did he know that Scotty was just going to pop up from that suplex like some sort of weird supernatural superhero?
Jake quickly regrouping out on the floor, while scrambling out to the floor.
Taking a breather, putting some distance between him and Scotty, slowing the pace down. That's what he's doing here. And now going for a light jog to get the heart rate going.
I was going to say, it's becoming an ongoing trend this evening. We're seeing quite a few competitors take a quick jog around the ring.
Well, Steve, cardio's important. Keeps your heart in shape.
Now Jake returning the favor and giving Scotty some chops in the corner. And Scotty with a clothesline, another clothesline, and a drop kick.
Where is he getting this energy from? I don't understand how this guy operates. He gets hit and then it has no effect on him.
Splash followed by another chop, and another one. Poor Jake, that chest is going to be raw in a moment.
I think it's quite disrespectful that Jake O'Reilly is sitting here taking chop after chop from Scotty the Body. If Scotty actually respected his opponent, he'd do the honorable thing and punch him in the face.
Oh! Double axe handle from the top.
Jake better be careful because Scotty looks like he's setting up for that full Nelson slam. But look at that. Jake O'Reilly, the veteran that he is, understood what was happening, knew the sensation, and got to the ropes. And look at this. Again, getting some distance, slowing the pace down. See, you see cowardice, and I see intelligence. Jake O'Reilly is making sure that Scotty the Body does not continue his momentum because that's his biggest weapon. Why can't Scotty just leave this poor guy alone? Here. He left the ring for a reason. Scotty should respect that and stay in the ring. And there you see what happens when you go after Jake O'Reilly on the floor. You get caught. Jake O'Reilly smashing that hand against the post, and now the steps. Scotty the Body, if he does not have his hand, look at that. Smashing against the ring bell. I bet you he probably broke the ring announcer's phone.
Now Jake doing a number outside on Scotty's hand, repeated blows off of various objects around ringside.
Oh, that's
making it quite apparent that
Scotty should not have come out after him.
Scotty can't punch him in the face if he can't make a fist.
That's right. And he's not going to be able to...
Oh, and right back to that hand.
Yeah, of course, that's smart wrestling, Steve. That's what you do. If a guy's got an injury, you go after it. And nobody knows that better than Jake O'Reilly. See, this is what I was talking about. Jake does not need to rush through the match. He can pace himself because he knows when he has to strike. And that leads to moments just like that. Scotty's only got one arm right now. All right? He does not have a full set of tools to be working with. And Jake O'Reilly knows this, and he is going to destroy Scotty because of it. He's like a shark who smells blood in the water.
Oh, and he's got Scotty's arm bent right back.
You're going to have to try and work a little bit harder against Jake O'Reilly every single time because he is a multi-disciplined athlete. And look at him taking the time, letting Scotty thinking about it before stomping on that arm. Yeah, he may have lost all sensation in that right arm.
Drove his foot into that elbow, driving Scotty's wrist and the entire forearm straight down into the mat. That's gotta hurt.
Well, there's no question it hurts. If Jake O'Reilly is doing it to you, it is painful. But here's the other thing to think about here. One of Scotty's signature moves is that flying clothesline from the top rope. And if his arm is busted up like that, he may not even be able to execute the move. And even if he does, he will not be hitting it with full impact. That's a problem for Scotty the Body.
Oh, and Scotty gets him over.
Yeah, but it's not enough.
Oh, and Jake with the kick out.
He doesn't have full strength right now. He's not able to use all of his weight and push against O'Reilly, and that's what's causing him to not being able to close the deal here. As we see O'Reilly now dragging Scotty over for some more punishment. You have to be impressed with this.
Come on, Drewski, don't let him take that off. Come on.
Well, for all we know, there was a hole in it. Maybe Jake O'Reilly is just protecting the integrity of this ring.
Oh, and he's showing Scotty now? Getting Scotty to touch it, see if it's there? Oh, and he's putting his fingers right through the turnbuckle.
Technically, that's not illegal. That's part of the ring. Nothing wrong with that. He's just using his environment. That's all. And still, these people are not impressed with their future King of the North.
Now, Adam, I hate to say it, but Jake might have actually found a strategy that's going to help him take the title from Scotty here, because I've never seen Scotty in this much trouble against O'Reilly before.
Well, of course he did. Did you not listen to me? Did you ever listen to me? This man is a strategist. He's a martial artist. These guys
come on.
These guys do not go into a fight without a strategy. And what are you complaining about? He used a chair from a fan. That fan should be kicked out of the arena for letting O'Reilly take it. It's not O'Reilly's fault.
Oh, Drewski's telling him now.
Well, I feel bad for...
Careful, Drewski. He'll hit you.
O'Reilly better be careful. Not because, Drew is any sort of...
Oh, come on!
I mean, really, he's just trying to improve the look of Kevin Drew, that's all. A couple of boogers...
So disrespectful.
A couple of boogers on his shirt might actually make him look better. Put him a level up from you, at least. What I find interesting about this contest is that Jake is actually being a little defensive here as opposed to offensive. Because if he was going on the offense, he might be trying to soften up the head or neck for his devastating pile driver, but instead, he's deciding to take away Scotty's arsenal, which is a pretty interesting strategy here, and one that so far has been pretty darn effective, Steve.
Well, ever since Jake made it a priority to just work directly on that arm and wrist of Scotty, we haven't seen much offense come from Scotty since Jake's had entire control of this match, and I think we might actually see the title change hands tonight, Adam.
Scotty's time is up. He's made it a point to defend that championship everywhere he goes, and it's going to come back to bite him, because if you are not at 100% against Jake O'Reilly, you are going to lose.
Oh! And we've got a double clothesline here, and both men are out.
Now this is really going to be an interesting point in the matchup here. Scotty has taken a lot of punishment, and Jake O'Reilly, even though Scotty has one bad arm, when you take a clothesline from that guy, it puts you out for a while. So this could be the opening that Scotty needs, but the question is, has he taken too much damage to make a full comeback?
Well, he can't even use that arm to get up. He's reaching over with his left arm.
And now Jake O'Reilly doing what he does best, throw a couple of bombs at his opponent here. I think this is a stupid strategy on the part of Scotty. You don't want to exchange blows with the Fighting Irish.
Well, not only that, but Scotty's arm is working at half capacity. Oh, and maybe not. It's that arm. He can't do anything with it.
And see, that's the problem you run into when you listen to these fans instead of using your brain. And there he goes. O'Reilly was going for the pile driver.
And Scotty knew that if that was it, that would have been the match, and quickly reversed it with a drop of his own.
I don't know where he's getting all this energy.
He's keeping some of it reserved in the tank, and he's finding opportune times to use it.
What? No.
Like right now.
No way. Unbelievable that Scotty's able to hold up O'Reilly there with one bad arm.
Look at the power of the champ. Is that it? Oh, O'Reilly kicks out.
Yeah, you're going to have to do a whole lot more to put away Jake O'Reilly. As impressive as that show of strength was from Scotty the Body, you're going to have to be on your best game to beat Jake O'Reilly in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. And let's face it, after the beating he's taken, Scotty is just not at his best right now as we see Jake once again get control of this matchup. Where does he keep coming up with this stuff, Steve? Wow, that was close.
He's He's got the heart of a champion, Adam. There's a reason he's the champ.
Better be careful, because if he keeps going like this, Jake O'Reilly might stop his heart. Jake O'Reilly is willing to do anything to become King of the North.
I think he's getting a lot of this fire from the fans too, but you wouldn't agree with that. You don't need the fans. Fans just get in the way, of course.
All I'm saying is that when you are in your worst moments, the fans...
Oh!
Yeah, let's see the fans do...
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it all right, and I'll ask you this. Let's see the fans do that. Which would you rather have? I'll take Jake O'Reilly's strategy, because it looks like the fans have just made Scotty a former King of the North. Look at him, hold that puck.
And he's got him up. There's the pile driver.
It's over.
And that's going to be it.
We're going to have a new King of the North.
Nobody gets up from the pile driver. 1, 2,
Wait a minute, what's this?
Who the hell's that?
Oh, isn't that that masked idiot? Have they come back? Who is this?
Who? I can't even tell who that is. Do you know who that is, Adam?
Well, I don't think it's...
What that? Someone get out here and get... Like, come on.
Well, it's definitely not...
Someone come get this organized. Drewski, like...
Well, don't expect...
O'Reilly.
Don't expect Drewski to do anything. But O'Reilly, of course...
What, there's 2 of them? What the hell? Where'd this second one come from? How are they getting in here?
Well, we definitely know...
Don't we have security to stop this?
It can't possibly be the guy from before, because... There's 2 of these guys, and they're not wearing the same mask, but I don't know who has decided to interrupt this contest, who has decided to steal the King of the North Championship from Jake O'Reilly. Let's be honest, 1 second later, and we would have a new champion. So who has decided to ruin this night for both Scotty and for O'Reilly? Who are these men that have decided to come in here and ruin this show, take out our officials, and put a stop to our main event? I want to know. Well, what are they waiting for? What else have they done here, or what else are they going to do? Let's find out who this is, Steve. Because I want to know. I think it's important. Yes!
Oh, it's Tomer!
Yes, and Fiasco!
And Fiasco! Yes! What the hell are they doing here? Dan got rid of them a long time ago.
What a sight for sore eyes. I've missed these 2 guys, and it's good to see them. Yeah, get rid of him.
Oh, come on.
That fat bald idiot.
That ref didn't do anything.
Yeah, he did. He got in the way of these 2 doing what they do best. Tearing people apart.
Oh, come on. He's a ref, for Christ's sake.
I don't know. I don't know if I would call him a referee. He's kind of like half a referee. All I know is that he doesn't belong in that ring with Fiasco or Tomer, and he's learning that the hard way right now. Yeah, do it to Drewski too. Yeah, get him. Yeah, kick him.
Oh, come on.
Kick him twice.
Someone get out here.
Kick him a couple of times.
Where's security right now?
You know, I never thought that I would see these guys. Yeah, come on, Scotty. You big idiot. Trying to be a hero. Look at Fiasco taking out the champ. Yeah, give it to him. Take the belt off that referee and whip him. There you go.
This is ridiculous.
Nah, this is amazing. These 2 guys got kicked out unfairly from this company, and now they're back to make an impact and make a statement, and I love it.
Can we get security or some kind of authority in the ring here? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, these are referees.
Oh, yeah, sure. Now you want security in here. When our hero Dan is out there taking a beating from some masked idiot, it's no problem. But whenever we got 2 fighters for justice out here, suddenly, where's security? Where's the cops?
Dan got what he deserved. This sucks. This is ridiculous. Like, come on now, Anthony, the ring announcer.
Yeah, there you go. Shove that idiot. That's for all the times that he called John Gonzalez by the wrong name. These 2 men were robbed of their livelihoods, robbed of their jobs, and it looks like they are no longer standing for the injustice.
That's not your title.
Yes, hey, they can do whatever they want. Who's going to stop them, Steve? You? Huh? How about, hey, hold on.
Disrespectful, spits on the title. What's
Hold
wrong
on.
with you?
Who's going to stop him? The champ? Champ's out. Champ's done. Huh? Is it Jake O'Reilly? No, Jake got taken out too. Where's your buddy Ray? Oh, that's right. He's fired. Jimmy Garvin, he going to come out here? Stop him? No. Nobody's going to stop them. These guys do what they want when they want. And if this didn't prove it tonight, nothing will. Tomer Shalom and Anthony Fiasco are back. Officially or not, they are here. And they have made an impact better than anybody on the roster tonight. So you know what?
This is disgusting. I am beside myself right now. Like, I can't believe this is on. How did these two even get in here?
That doesn't matter. All that matters is that they are here and they are doing what they want. They are setting justice in motion. They are righting the wrongs of the past. That's all you need to know. Fiasco, Shalom are back, and they can do whatever the hell they want. What a night it has been, Steve.
We need some answers around here, but right now we gotta go. This has been one hell of a night. I'm with my partner, unfortunately, Adam Coton, and thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you when we come back.